Hello people, it's time for part 2 of the Alpha Max Skytube Dark Advent number 3 Undeaddress Isis. So this time we're going to go ahead and take a look at the mummy, the sarcophagus here, and I'm going to show you some of the features that he has. Of course, you already know that he lights up. We'll do a size comparison here shortly. So let me go ahead and do the articulation first so you guys can see what he can do. This is going to be a little difficult, so let me go ahead and move these things around here. Take this off his stand. Let's see. So we'll start with his head. Okay. So his ball joint inside his head does allow you to move it forward and back, just like any normal one. Of course, this is a little bit iffy here. I want to get that one on properly, but I can't seem to push it down all the way here. There we go, that should do it. Moving that back and forth like so on the ball joint. And he does have these little flappy guys here on his head. That is the top of the articulation. Moving on to the arms. These guys come out quite a lot. They can rotate on a ball joint here. And there is a point of articulation in here as well, so you can get different angles. This is meant to support and brace him in different positions. You will see on the transformation later why that is important. For now, it is meant to be locked into this position, so he looks like he has arms and shoulders. Moving up here, we also have this point of articulation that does close when you transform it, and opening it. Ooh, there we go. It's pretty simple. You just press on the top here. I knew it was somewhere, and that opens up and closes. Here on the arm, you get a point of articulation inside here, so you can rotate that, as you see. That also allows a rotation point here. So you get quite a bit out of that. You can move his arms quite a lot here. These guys move in and out. They're meant to be out when he is in his open and active mode. There is a fold out here, and that is for his transformation. His hand will be going inside there. But for now, let's leave that out. His hand does rotate. Of course, that also enables his hideaway hand there. His thumb has one point of articulation at the point and one here as a ball joint inside here. So it is very, very articulatable. He can hold quite a lot there. They aren't very strong, so that is something to be aware of. These each have one point of articulation near the bottom and then another one at the top here. So you can move those quite a bit. You can make a fist, cover that up like so. Pretty cool. I really like those hands. And of course he has two of them, so you can do that one on the other side as well. There is a point of articulation on his tail that moves this one back and forth. It does also rotate just a bit. And then these guys can fold out too, and that is important for the transformation as well. So that just being a 3mm peg, it does move quite easily in and out of that spot. There's also a hollow section in here, and I'm sure you guys know what that's for. It's for the last point of articulation, which he can put his head in here. And that is obviously for his transformation. And now for size comparison, here is the GBN base Gundam. This one is a high grade in 1/144 scale. So you can see this guy is quite a lot bigger than the high grade Gundam is. She is taller than he is as well. Pretty typical for a girl kit to be taller than these guys. Here is the Alto from 30-minute missions. As you see, he is quite a lot smaller than these two. And he is in 1/44 scale as well. Jinrai actually looks pretty home with the mummy here, the sarcophagus, and we have the girl kit as well. Just about the same height as the Jinrai in 1/100 scale, and that is from Frame Arms. Okay, you can see the architect here is about the same height as Isis. And of course, she would be same diminutive scale as she is compared to her husband. Our very small 1/24 scale hexagear governor. This one is Nero, and as you see, he is dwarfed by these two. Quite a lot taller than he is. All right, and actually nearing the same height and size as the Alex Gundam in 1/100 scale. That's kind of scary. This guy is pretty big. Even the bulk on him looks very similar. He's very much lighter than the Alex Gundam is, but in 1/100 scale, he does dwarf the 1/12 scale, roughly, Isis here. Right, and with that out of the way, we're going to go ahead and take a look at that transformation. It might take me a little while, so I'm going to go ahead and speed it up, put some music on for you guys, and we'll get this guy transformed, and I'll show you what that looks like. Alright, so I may have messed up a bit on the transformation. It didn't go as smoothly as it's supposed to. These things are supposed to go nice and flat. I'm not sure what I did wrong. I'll have to look into it and see exactly where I went wrong. Probably something on this joint here. These ones do slide up and down, and I didn't remember that. So, I mean, it's my fault, but I think it still looks pretty cool. I like the idea of the Ankh here being the representative of her husband, and also just the idea that this is a sarcophagus. He's dead, but he lives in an Ankh of all things. Or not lives in, but, you know, resides in. There you go. So that's something that's really cool about this kit. So if that's something that you're considering, the religious symbols are there. It's a little risque, but a lot of this kit is risque, so that's just kind of how this one goes. I don't know if anyone noticed, but I did swap out her legs for the bare legs that I mentioned before but didn't show on her, so that is something that you can do easily. The last thing I wanted to show you guys is the stand. The stand here is held together with metal screws and nuts, so it's actually pretty sturdy. I didn't tighten them all the way down because I didn't want to damage them, but you really should tighten them a lot more than I did. You actually get two of these stands. One has plastic fittings instead of the screws and metal like you see here, but I didn't put that one together and I left it inside the house. So there are two. You can use them with them. And then in addition to that, her backpack here also has some attachments so that you can put them together with the stands that you have available with this one here. So it's a nice stand that fits on any 3mm port. It can hold this guy up readily, even with all his weight. No problem on that. So with the 2 stands, you'll have more than enough to put both of them together. And I remember talking about it in the last one, but there is a standard version of this kit. This one is the DX, so you get this little fellow here. You probably get only one stand in the other one. I'm not sure if you get those clear parts at all. I'm not entirely sure what comes in the standard kit. But because I know what's in this one, I can only recommend getting this one. There's so many things inside it. Yes, there's some lewd parts, some bare chest, something for the mummy to interact with her. There's a couple of them actually, and the like. So if it's something that you can't stand, you cannot do lewd action figures or playthings, you can always just throw those parts away, sell them to a friend, whatever you want to do with them, or you can get the standard version, which does not have any of that. So it's just like her, with the metal legs, as opposed to the bare ones. I think it won't come with the magnet for this set because he won't be in it. Just a little basic version of just her. It is quite a lot cheaper too. I think it's around $50, whereas this one was close to $100. I think I paid $89.99 for it. That's a lot of money. And with shipping, that was another $10. I got it from USA Gundam Store, which is the last thing that I ordered from them. It was very, very expensive. It's a very pricey kit. So that is something to consider as well. The other one is half the cost, so you also get half the kit. That said, just by herself, it's a lovely kit. I would not disparage anyone for just getting that kit. It is beautiful. Be that as it may, I think that getting the extra stuff is worth it. The stands alone, really nice. The character, he's really nice. All the face plates that you get, all the hands, all the accessories. Again, I'm not sure what comes in the standard kit, so you might miss out on a lot of it. I would definitely recommend getting the DX kit and just tossing it in the trash if that's not what you're after. I can totally understand it too, so don't fret and think, oh, you know, people are going to think I'm dumb for throwing that stuff in the trash. And it's not. You know, it's totally understandable. I would sell it to someone who also has a standard kit, so that way if they wanted it, they can get that stuff. But that's just me. But as far as recommendation, yes, I do recommend this one. It's a wonderful kit. It's very fun to play with. It's weird, it's crazy, it's over the top, it's very fun. Definitely a recommendation for me. With all that said, I know it's shorter than the last one, but I wanted to make sure I covered the articulation on this thing, the size comparison between the two, and get you guys all of that, information out there. That's it though. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.